So welcome back to Click Academics. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to solve this exponential equation. So we have 27 to the power of x equals 1 over x. Now what I'm first going to do is I'm going to take the power of 1 over x on both sides. So we have 27 to the power of x to the power of 1 over x, and this is equal to 1 over x to the power of 1 over x. Now, if we have something in the form a to the power of m to the power of n, this is actually equal to a to the power of m times n. So as you can see right here, we have 27 to the power of x to the power of 1 over x, and think of x as m and 1 over x as n. So as you can see, we simply multiply these two. So this is equal to 27 to the power of x times 1 over x. And this is still equal to 1 over x to the power of 1 over x. Now, x times 1 over x, well, that's simply just 1. So we have 27 to the power of 1, which is simply just 27, equals 1 over x to the power of 1 over x. Now, I'm actually going to rewrite 27 as 3 to the power of 3, because 27 is 3 to the power of 3, and this is still equal to 1 over x to the power of 1 over x. Now, if we have something in the form a to the power of a equals b to the power of b, this actually means that a is equal to b. So we have 3 to the power of 3 equals 1 over x to the power of 1 over x. This means that 3 is equal to 1 over x. So now if we multiply both sides by x, we get 3x is equal to 1. And now if we divide both sides by 3, we get x is equal to 1 over 3. So this is our answer. Welcome back to Click Academics. In today's video, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to solve this exponential equation. So we have x to the power of x equals x. Now what I'm first going to do is I'm going to divide by x on both sides. So we have x to the power of x equals x, and if I divide by x on both sides, well, first off, on the right side, x divided by x, well, that's simply 1, because anything divided by itself is 1. Now, on the left-hand side, we have x to the power of x divided by x. And x here, our denominator, this can be written as x to the power of 1. And if you guys recall an important property of exponents, it states that a to the power of m over a to the power of n, this is equal to a to the power of m minus n. So this is the formula for dividing exponents. So right here we have x to the power of x divided by x to the power of 1. And x in this case is a, x is m, and 1 is n. So if we put our variables into this form, we get x to the power of x minus 1. So now we're actually going to rewrite this as before I rewrite this, another important property of exponents is that if we have something in the form a to the power of m plus n, this is equal to a to the power of m times a to the power of n. So x to the power of x minus 1, this would equal x to the power of x times x to the power of negative 1. And this is still equal to 1. So now, if I divide both sides by x to the power of negative 1, these two would cancel out, so I would get x to the power of x is equal to, well, 1 over x to the power of negative 1, this is equal to 1 over x to the power of negative 1 is the same thing as 1 over x to the power of 1. So this would be 1 over x. And 1 over x, well, this is simply equal to x. So 1 over x to the power of negative 1 is simply just x. So now we get x to the power of x is equal to x. And now x, the exponent for x is actually 1, right? So we have x to the power of x is equal to x to the power of 1. And as you can see here, we have the same bases for both of these, meaning if we have the same bases, our exponents are the same as well. So that means if we set our exponents equal to each other, we get x equals 1. So we get x equals 1, and this is a solution. However, as you can see here, remember this equation? X to the power of x minus 1 equals 1. Well, I'm actually going to rewrite this as x to the power of x minus 1 equals x to the power of 0. Because 1 here, 1 is the same thing as x to the power of 0. Now, we're going to do the same thing what we do here. We're going to set our exponents equal to each other. So we're going to set x minus 1 equals 0. And if we add 1 on both sides, we get x equals 1. So this is another way of doing it. And actually, we have our solution as x equals 1. However, there is actually another solution to this problem. X equals negative 1. This would also work as well, because if we plug this into our equation, for example, negative 1 to the power of negative 1 equals negative 1. Well, negative 1 to the power of negative 1 is simply 1 over negative 1. And this is equal to negative 1. And 1 over negative 1 is simply just negative 1. So negative 1 equals negative 1. So this is right. So x equals negative 1. This is also a solution to this equation.